So you were in New York this past weekend with me. You finally made it. This is what we were talking about last episode. But you didn't get there easily. That was quite the treacherous journey for you.
A journey indeed. Nothing leading up to the trip was going right. I had gotten sick the week before. Congestion, just flu-like symptoms essentially. And I taking a red eye because I think I'm a genius. I've never taken a red eye before. And, the most important thing you need when you're sick is sleep. And that is exactly what I did not get on this flight, okay? I was circulating between hot and cold. I was like taking my jacket off, my shoes and socks. And at one point I wanted to take my shirt off, but I had two women right next to me and I felt like I would get in a lot of trouble.
They would have thrown you off the plane. They'd have been like, no, sir.
That would have fixed my heating issue, honestly.
For real. Yeah. One problem solved.
Yeah. And I basically did not get any sleep. I'd eaten something, this terrible burrito at the airport. And so I land not sitting well. The stomach is going through it. I can't breathe properly. I'm overheating. And I get to Newark where I land. I'm taking a train. And I think going underwater gets me super nauseous. Literally, I first thing I do when I get to my friend's place is literally just puke.
Yeah. Like what?
Exactly. That burrito, man.
You didn't have your burrito.
And I literally sleep for like 10 to 12 hours straight. Yeah. And thankfully, that is what helped me get back on track somewhat to a place where I could still, function.
And that's when I got in too.
And that's when you got in. But I know it wasn't easy for you getting into the city as well.
No, it wasn't, because two of my friends, we planned this trip for a while. And two of my friends, best friends from high school, were flying in. One was taking the train from New York. The other was flying in. And they were going to spend a few days in DC. And then we were all going to drive up to New York. And the day that they came I was fine. But the day after, I felt really ill. This was 2 days before I was scheduled to go to New York, right? And so got really ill. I was really sad because I was going to invite all my DC friends. They were going to get to meet them. Canceled that. I thought it was COVID. It wasn't COVID. Just some flu that's been going around. And then so Wednesday, I take the day off, Thursday, and honestly just like rest. And then Friday, like I'm starting to drive up. And unfortunately, I get a call from my dad informing me that my granddad had passed away. And so that was a very chaotic couple hours, just trying to figure out like what to do. And we just crossed Baltimore and I was like confused if I should go to India. So turn the car around, get my passport in DC, and then drive back to New York anyway and fly to JFK. Like it was very chaotic. My like lifetime visa was also expired, so I would have had to apply for a new one. That's contradictory, right? Lifetime visa expiring. Yeah, exactly.
India in a nutshell.
But talked to my parents, calmed down, was on an emotional roller coaster for those couple hours. It was very close to him. Anyone that knows me knows that I love to sing and I have a very strong relationship to music, specifically Indian classical music. And he is the source. So he was a Veena Vidwan and he was a very accomplished musician. And was my first teacher. So I grew up with him, and I grew up in Chennai. He was a neighbor almost, and we spent a lot of time together the first 13 years of my life. So that was very, very difficult. And so just like trying to figure all of that out was very chaotic. But we ended up in New York, and obviously everyone there, they were all my best friends, right? Literally everyone that was there, Himi included, that I was meeting, were my best friends. And so could not have asked for a better support system. And everyone took care of me. People were even in the car, like just like one was looking at flights, the other was calling the consulate. And we literally called every consulate in America and like sent emails, and I felt very taken care of. But it was a very weird weekend also because it's already two people down, you were down. And then Neha fell ill the day after, and it was like 4 or 5 people went down like flies. I was already recovering. But we made the best of it, I think, right? What do you think? We like walked around New York. We did a lot of stuff. Given how much we were all struggling.
We got in on that Friday, used that time to recover, I think, and then bounced back exceptionally well on Saturday. Yeah. Went to this really awesome Indian place called Chote Nawab.
Dude, Chote Nawab. Shout out to Chote Nawab. If any of you go, it's on Lexington Avenue in New York in Manhattan. Go shout them out. Amazing
service, amazing vibes, good food. Like what more can you ask for?
And then we walked around. We went to Chelsea Market.
Market, Donuttery. Fire.
Shouts out to
Donuttery. Some bomb ass donuts.
We went to what is that place?
The Glade.
The Glade by the Whitney. We were by the High Line.
Yeah.
Some
amazing place
there
to watch the sunset. Like one of the best viewpoints I've been to.
Yeah, and honestly, that's the theme of the whole weekend, right? We all just like spend quality time with each other, and that honestly was the best part because there was no pressure to like have it be, when you say New York weekend, you're like, oh, let's go out and like let's get drunk. Great time that way. Exactly. It's like when it's all of these people and this is the company that we keep. It's like whatever we do, we're around each other, and that time spent is time well spent.
Yeah,
right? And so we did go out on Saturday.
Yeah,
not like we didn't.
Yeah,
we had a great time. Freehold in Brooklyn. Shout out to Freehold in Brooklyn. Sunday, honestly, just chilled. We got to walk around in Brooklyn.
Yeah. Hey, check out future living situations.
Hey, yeah, we're coming for you, Brooklyn. We're gonna take that little borough over when we move in later this year. Crazy to just like even conceptualize that as like the reality. But all in all, I'm not gonna complain about the weekend that I had, given the circumstances.
Me neither.
That were involved.
I think that's what kind of gave me a lot of solace, was knowing that you were gonna be there and I was gonna get to spend time with you. And I know that every time we get together, no matter how shitty the circumstances, we always rally and make the best of whatever we have at that moment. And I think that's what makes this bond so special. It makes this podcast so special.
Wow, we're getting good at these transitions. Hey, welcome back to YY4. I'm Vignesh Iyer.
And I'm Himanshu Gautam.
This is episode 4. We're going to call this Chaat Corner for the foreseeable future. Like this kind of format of quick updates. We've been watching a lot of stuff, but I don't think any of the stuff that we've been watching warrants their own episode. So we're just kind of going to talk about all of the stuff that we've been watching, our thoughts. But before that, we have a quick new segment for y'all. It's called News Roundup. We're working on a name. Do you want to go over some of the name ideas? We did a bunch of different things. We tried like Garmi something, just to like hot news, right? Hot off the press.
Yeah, we were trying to figure out a way to like combine.
Let's ask audience members. Yeah. Hey, if y'all think of something, preferably in Hindi or another Indian language, but in English too. If you have any name recommendations for this News Roundup segment, it's basically like we're trying to keep this episode short and sweet. And so we're debuting this segment. It's going to be news stories that we thought were interesting for the month of February. And it's going to be a monthly segment, right? So we're just going to do a quick roundup, explain what's happening with these news stories, and then give our take on it. And the 3 stories that we've chosen for this month are the continued success of Pathaan. So if you listen to our previous episode, you know that Pathaan opened to a rousing reception in the box office and then has continued that run over the last month. That's one. We're going to talk about Kiara Advani and Siddharth Malhotra's wedding, which happened earlier this month, which I'm very excited to talk about. And then the new Love Ranjan movie that stars Ranbir Kapoor and Shraddha Kapoor. It's a new romantic comedy that comes out in the beginning of March. So honestly excited to talk about all of those things.
Yeah, so as of 25th February, 2023, the film has net 523 crores, which is $63 million. Has a worldwide gross collection of 1,015 crores, which is $130 million. This is the second highest grossing Hindi film, the 5th highest grossing Indian film of all time. And this makes this movie, Pathaan, Shah Rukh Khan's most successful film of ever.
I think like, if you want to know our actual thoughts, go listen to that episode. But I think we both agreed, however you feel about the movie, it's kind of undeniable what this means for the future of Bollywood and for Shah Rukh Khan.
Yeah, because and for reference, Dangal, which is the movie that it just beat out, came out in 2016.
Yeah. Okay. Kiara and Sid's wedding. Dude,
I've been listening to that song on repeat from
Ratan Lamia?
No, Ranja. Yeah. There's a song that just came out that's a mix right here of it's a Sid and Kiara like wedding version. Yeah, just
named Royal.
Yeah. The song is beautiful. So this has been on repeat for me. And they put this out right after they got married. So
this is sponsored by them?
I don't know if they actually played this at their wedding. I think maybe. I'm not sure. we'll confirm. But
Well, yeah. Either way, this is the newest A-list wedding in Bollywood. It's the wedding of Kiara Advani, leading female actor in Bollywood, and Siddharth Malhotra, leading male actor in Bollywood. They met at the Lust Stories rap party. I don't know if you knew this, right? It came out in the season 7 episode. I think Kiara, one of them, said it. They were secretly dating for a few years before they debuted their relationship publicly when they went and celebrated New Year's in South Africa. And like, I remember when I saw that Instagram post, because neither of them were featured in it. Kiara was in her own post in South Africa and Sid was in it, but it looked like it was cut from the same frame.
Yeah.
But they weren't, it was just like, everyone was like, oh, does this mean they're together? And then obviously they were asked about this on Coffee with Karan, and both of them were coy, but then they like kind of confirmed it. And then she herself confirmed it earlier in January, actually.
Yeah.
This month. And then they got married pretty quickly after
Yeah.
that. So here's my take on first of all, big congrats to them. They are my favorite Bollywood couple. Actually, yeah, they are my favorite Bollywood couple at the moment. I thought it was Vicky and Katrina, but I think just because they're both
the new
wholesome,
love,
and I think both of them are outsiders.
Yeah,
right.
Both of them are outsiders.
Something that we will always root for if you're a fan of this podcast.
Yeah.
But here's my actual take. I think Bollywood real life romances are fraught with controversy every single time, and it's honestly not even the media's doing. Right? Think about like Deepika's relationship history. It was like fraught with all kinds of controversy when she started dating Ranbir Kapoor, and there was rumors of infidelity, and same thing with even Ranbir, actually, right? Ranbir and Anushka, when they started dating early in 2010, same timeline, some rumor of something going wrong, and it's just like, you like to believe that these people are normal people and that they do have the ability to have a real life romance that is normal and that is wholesome.
Yeah.
And I just don't feel like we get that a lot, even with the younger generation. Like, oh, Janvi was with Ishan, who was with this other person, and this like it's
with
like
Ananya.
Yeah, literally like why are y'all just dating each other and just like making a mess, you know? Makes for great fodder, but when there is a moment like this where two people, beautiful people getting married, wholesome, easy to root for, it warms my heart. Same thing with Vicky and Katrina. I feel they're also easy to root for, you know?
Yeah.
So that's why I just like Bollywood is so fraught with all this controversy all the time and all this gossip. But I feel like when they do come through with something like this, it's always
you
really
can
nice.
tell that the love is pure. I think that's
it's like visible. Maybe it is pure for the others too. Ranbir, Alia. Like Ranbir, Alia are problematic, least of all because of their age difference. You know, he's 40 and she's 29.
Yeah.
Remember that anecdote from Coffee with Karan season 7?
Yeah.
Where he goes, Ranbir says, he had his eye on you when she did. So Alia did Student of the Year when she was 19 years old. And apparently Ranbir came on set and was like, that's the girl that I'm going to marry. He was 30 at the time. So, you know, so even if their love is real or whatever, or pure, I don't see it.
Yeah, exactly. Like when you see them in the media off screen, it just doesn't seem as organic. You know, it seems like a little forced. I don't know whether it's Ranbir kind of like playing this aloof-esque character, but like, or maybe doesn't like showing, you know, affection publicly.
Something. I mean, he tried. Remember the Brahmastra controversy where she was pregnant and he said like she could lose some weight or something like that, or it came off like that.
I don't.
It's just like whatever.
Yeah.
Like this is exactly it. We get tired of talking about these people. Yeah. I will never tire of talking about Kiara and Sid. They're so cute.
No, they are amazing. I have been the biggest Siddharth Malhotra fan since he came out in Student of the Year, and I wanted him to be the most successful. I was rooting for him out of the 3 newcomers that had come, but him and Alia were also dating for the longest time.
I know,
and that's when I was like, oh shit, like I was happy for him, because I was like, damn, like
was he happy? Dun dun dun.
Exactly, and clearly not, because it didn't work out.
She wasn't either, probably.
Yeah, and I'm so happy because I feel like he bagged the better Alia, because Kiara's real name is also Alia. So that's the take right there. But
that's a take. That's a fucking take for sure. Okay. Last news item. We've already spent quite some time talking about this stuff, but the new Love Ranjan movie. What's it called?
Jhoti Main Makkar, which translates to she's a liar, but I am sly. So I don't love this director. There's one film of his This is the only film of Karthik Aryan's that I actually like. It's Sonu Ki Tituki Sweetie.
Yeah.
And I thought that movie was
Huge success.
immense success. That's what kind of put Karthik Aryan on the map and was like, you know, he'd had some smaller films that were kind of just like, but that movie was like put him on the map. I think acting ability wise too, and obviously box office numbers.
Just like stardom.
Stardom. So the director is coming back and doing a film with Ranbir Kapoor and Shraddha Kapoor, which is a pairing we have never seen before. So I think
they look good.
They both look really good together. Like I would argue that this is the best both of them have looked. The songs have been amazing so far. We watched one of the music videos,
Tumka,
and that was awesome. And so I'm excited because I think I like these lighter movies, you know, kind of like the dramedies. That's more rom-com per se, where it's more just about keeping it light. And, you know, making sure that the audiences are having fun.
Time pass.
Yeah, time pass, exactly. And I think that's a genre that's very hard to do right. I'm excited. I think, you know, both of these actors, very talented. And I feel like their chemistry, you know, being new, I think is going to bring a lot of success to the film. But only time will tell.
Yeah, I mean, I told you about that interview that I was listening to. Karan Johar is being interviewed by Anupama Chopra recently. And he said with Tu Jhuti and Rocky Aur Rani Ki Prem Kahani, which is his upcoming film that comes out in July, starring Ranveer Singh and Alia Bhatt. He said those two films are trying to attempt to bring back a genre that he thought was dead in Hindi cinema. They make no excuses about the fact that it's just a romance. You're going to come watch two people fall madly in love with each other in the most cinematic, most dramatic way possible. And that's the kind of stuff that Bollywood, especially 90s Bollywood cinema, is based on, right? Like Yash Raj films is based on those kinds of romances, sprawling romances that obviously have comedic elements in them, but are telling the story with the kind of grandiosity of Bollywood. Big dance numbers. I mean, the Tumka song is amazing. If you just go Google the song from the movie and you'll see how wonderful the production is of that song, right? So it's just like great music, great energy of actors who have great chemistry and script probably isn't great, but it'll be a great time. So I'm really excited for that. But that's it for our news roundup section. We wanted to also do a quick roundup of what we've been watching. And so there's two shows, and I think we wanted to kind of put them in conversation with each other because they're very similar. So you want to talk about Farzi?
Yeah. So this is the new TV show with Shahid Kapoor. He plays this disgruntled artist who takes immense pride in his artwork, which is essentially to copy other famous paintings. And so, you know, shit turns kind of sideways when his grandfather's printing press is at jeopardy and, you know, about to close down, and, you know, doesn't have a lot of money. And so he tries to essentially make money by literally making money. The entire series is about him and his best friend, Feroz, working to print fake rupees. And
Counterfeit notes.
Counterfeit notes, exactly. And that's what Farzi actually means. It means counterfeit or fake. So
Nakli.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And, you know, things get a little complicated when, you know, another gangster played by KK Menon, Mansoor, comes into the picture, and he runs a similar business. And that's when things start to get frisky.
He runs a counterfeiting empire.
Yeah, empire. Exactly.
And he needs a new design that doesn't get caught by this, I don't know, new machine that picks up counterfeiting notes easier using software or whatever.
Yeah. So concept is pretty cool, honestly.
Yeah.
I think that's what the show rides really well on, is this entire aspect of counterfeiting notes. Part of the reason why I really like the show is because how much detail they actually go into what it takes in order to create a counterfeit note. The first episode is actually like they spend like 30 minutes of that episode just going over exactly like what it takes from the design, you know, how the new notes basically in 16, demonetization occurred in India, and they had a new note.
They took the 500 and 1,000 rupee notes out of circulation.
Yeah.
And then reintroduced the 500 rupee note that looked different, and then a 2,000 rupee note. There aren't no more 1,000.
Exactly. With new security features, a much more complex design. And so the show goes into the details of all of that, what it takes in order to replicate the design.
Mm-hmm.
And then on top of that, what goes into printing, the special dye that's required, friction, and everything that goes into the press aspect. And then most importantly, the paper. And so that's what I really enjoyed about the show, where it's like, if you could some people I'm sure got motivated to be like, oh shit, maybe we can do some shit like this, And I hope that's not the case. So I can totally see.
Yeah, it's crazy too, because like the kind of big pitch that they're making is all it takes is for some set of these notes to be introduced into the Indian economy at some mid-sized scale, right? Like, let's say a few hundred crores need to be introduced into the economy, and soon enough it's a faceless crime, and so it's hard to track, especially if the design is good and if the guys in real life are as talented as the ones in the show. Yeah, I thought it was a well-conceived idea. I thought it was well executed, well conceived, excellent performances. Shahid Kapoor is just creme de la creme.
Yeah,
greatest, one of the best actors that we have, and most bankable in terms of good performance, great energy on screen. Great find in Bhuvan Arora, who plays Feroz, who plays his like sidekick best friend. Excellent performance from him too. His granddad is played by one of the legendary character actors. I'm forgetting his name, but he's been in several old Hindi films, and he's kind of making a little screen comeback here. And I love the underdog get rich quick storyline.
Yeah.
It makes it easy to write for an underdog storyline, because it's easy to root for someone who's like fighting against
the
system, who's been beaten down by the system and feels that they need to get revenge against this monstrosity that is a system, especially in India when money is involved and you're in the middle class, lower middle class, or even poorer than that, and you've been denied opportunity, and you see that everyone around you in a city like Mumbai is of wealth. We have this like side character that's like an NPC after the second episode, but like he has this like rich girlfriend who doesn't want to show their relationship publicly or show face publicly because of
his like class.
Yeah, essentially.
Exactly.
And so you get to see all of that, and then you get to root for this character based on that. And yet I was disappointed. I think you were much more high on the show than I was, or a little more high on the show than I was. I thought the first 4 episodes were great.
Yeah.
And then the back end was brutal.
Really takes a toll.
Yeah. So here are the things that I didn't like, right? I thought just for such an elegant conception, some significant portions of the show were inelegant, right? Like the part where, like, okay, let's talk about the plot points. Some plot points that were inelegant. Like, it's like Deus Ex Machina, I think what it's called. It's like a writing device where you suddenly solve everything because some genius comes up with some idea that like dumbfounds every other intelligent character. So when they like take the counterfeit money from Oman, they bring it into India. They essentially like find a way to land the ship on a beach because all the ports are taken. It's like that. Okay, so that's unwieldy and inelegant, right? But I thought what was especially inelegant was Sunny, like the main character that Shahid plays, suddenly, and you're rooting for him all throughout the first 4 episodes, suddenly his decisions stop making sense, right? Because is he evil all the way? And you get a sense that maybe he will be, and money has corrupted him. And he is his father's son. His father's also, we get to see a bit of backstory where his father is this con man, and they keep running away. They keep having to move houses as a child. So he is his father's son. So there are all these reasons to believe that he will also end up evil just like him, and kind of a cheat and a con man. But then they start writing this love plot toward the end of the season, and that's where his humanity starts to show. So when he starts making these mistakes and has these weaknesses, it's because he falls in love with this girl that this task force girl that he's infiltrated, but like he falls in love with her too. And I was just like, yo, like, this is hard to root for. Like, even the plot stuff is forgivable, right? Like, I thought even the entire like last 30 minutes of that final 8th episode where like the biker gang comes and saves them and shit, like I thought all of that is like excusable.
Yeah.
But the character arcs, when they don't make sense, it's hard to root for the characters. Same thing with the Vijay Sethupathi character.
Exactly.
Vijay Sethupathi, I mean, if you've listened to our episodes, you know I love him. Tamil actor, one of the most important actors in Tamil cinema. They gave him, first of all, they made him dub all of his dialogues in Hindi, and he speaks a lot of Hindi in the film, or in the series. tough. He has an accent, very thick accent. He's really trying, and he is like a Southern Indian. He's not playing like an indie guy. But it still was like hard to listen
Makes
to.
to make the character like,
and it made his like
believable.
performance a little unwieldy.
Yeah.
But then his character arc, y'all. Oh my God. You want to, you talk about this.
That was the craziest thing, because literally for what felt like more than half of his screen time was him having a battle with his wife.
Going through a divorce, basically.
They were struggling, and he wasn't able to figure it out. And it's like such a trope that is overused, I feel like, in Indian cinema.
That is not well done. Like, I don't even care that it's overused.
Yeah,
it's poorly done.
Yeah.
It's like, have you never seen a real couple get divorced?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, why do half their conversations feel like it's been written by someone who doesn't even know a married couple?
Exactly. And they're both like, they're trying to figure it out, but it just makes like Setupati look look bad. Like, what is he? He doesn't seem to be good at his job, and he doesn't seem to be have a successful, marriage, or like trying to like work it out. And so it's really hard to root for him also as a character.
And part of the genius of the last show made by the same creators, Family Man, made by Raj and DK, who also made Farzi, part of the genius of it was that they got the family dynamic perfectly, right? Especially when they did all those scenes with Shrikant Tiwari, played by Manoj Bajpayee, the protagonist. He lives like a family life that he's been trying to manage with his secret agent raw life, with his wife's potential infidelity. I thought like all of that was handled so well, and made you want to like root for him, but also you understood his wife's side. None of that finesse and adept handling of a marriage was present here, which is shocking.
Yeah,
because they did it well in the previous show.
Yeah, I think a lot of that was also because we never really got to like see them interact, other than in the sense that like they were always like fighting, and we never really got the backstory that we needed to understand. Their kid was like what was like stringing them together, and like it was like really
Vyom. First of all, weird name, right? Like cool name, but like they really were like trying to say it over and over again, and it just didn't seem like someone that would be born to a Vijay Sethupathi like character.
Yeah.
His character's name is Michael Vedanayagam. Will be named Vyom. Under what circumstance, yo? Like, my God. And like, even in the end, episode 8, climax is happening, and they cut to Vijay Sethupathi with Vyom to like resolve that arc. And I was like, yo, what the hell?
The climax didn't even have Sethupathi in it. Like, there was nothing to do with him. Tough. That was like,
and so like, generally speaking, like I think the show started falling apart when the motivation started to become clearer, which happens usually with a miniseries and a TV show right around the halfway point, right? Episode 4 or 5, if the show is headed in the right direction or not, because there's only so much buildup that you can do. So you have to start paying people off, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Where are the payoffs? All the buildup was there, no payoff. I felt like I absolutely didn't get anything out of episode 5, 6, especially when they go to Oman and that whole like subplot. Russian people.
Oh my God.
Well, either way, it was a tough watch.
And I think that on its own, it's questionable on whether or not it's worth watching. But the reason why I was so excited, and we were so excited, is because it's actually part of the Family Man universe that Viggy had just mentioned, where Family Man is its own like series that they've started off with. They have 2 seasons, and so this is kind of like a spin-off. And if you've been, watching some of the promos, there's also little like hints in Farzi where Vijay Sethupathi is talking to Manoj Bajpayee, but you don't know that it's actually him. We've talked about how I think Indian cinema is kind of riding on this whole like multiverse concept, where you're bringing all these people from different universes, kind of together, or like part of the same universe, I guess, together.
Telling multiple stories set within the same universe of characters.
Yeah. And I think that makes it more interesting, because you have more characters that are involved, and you have bigger casts, and I'm all for it. So I think it'll be interesting to see how Shahid's character develops in the coming seasons, and how I'm most excited about Vijay Sethupathi and Manoj Bajpayee teaming up. Yeah. I think that's going to be fucking
That's going to be amazing. And 2 amazing actors. My last complaint with Farzi before we move on is that what they do really well, Raj and DK, is bring in this flavor of South India into a mainstream Hindi storyline, right? So with Family Man, Priyamani's character was Tamil, and so their kids spoke Tamil. There were entire Tamil characters who were speaking Tamil. So it brings in the Southern audience who wouldn't otherwise tune in, and it's like something for them too. And it's in like not just in kind of like a throwaway, frivolous way, but in some meaningful character-defining ways, right? Season 2 of Family Man is actually set in Chennai. Big portions were shot because it was about the Tamil Tigers and their struggle for liberation in Sri Lanka. So it was this multilingual, regional kind of show that helped different parts of its audience in different parts of India relate to it.
Yeah.
And I thought they didn't succeed. They tried, like especially when Vijay Sethupathi was talking to his wife. So as far as I understand, Vijay Sethupathi is Tamil. He speaks in Tamil.
Yeah.
His wife is Telugu, but then they interact in like all 3 languages at any given time. Like when they're having an argument, he's asking her if she has snacks in Tamil. She responds in Telugu, and then they start talking in Hindi.
Yeah.
And it's like, I come from a multilingual family. My dad's Tamil, grew up in Bombay, speaks fluent Hindi. Mom's Telugu. That never happens. They don't just like switch languages and suddenly are like, you know what I mean? Like, I just like, that never happens. So that was like all very heavy-handed, ham-fisted, right? Like, I just didn't like any of that. Then the last thing too is, there's only one finance minister who like suddenly starts authorizing every military action and secret action against this counterfeit like industrialist. Like, yeah, they made their own task force by one guy who don't even know what position he's holding in the government. And it's like that kind of stuff is what really upsets me, where I'm like, in Family Man, they did really well. They were like, the raw team reports directly to a cabinet secretary who then reports to the prime minister. So you know that like, who's being held accountable where.
Yeah.
Here was just some guy.
Yeah. I think here they were writing too much on the fact that the entire counterfeiting scheme would carry the show, where that would was going to intrigue people and everyone would fuck off with the entire rest of the story. But that shit matters, right? Because when you're in a TV show, you have 8 episodes, right? I'm only going to be interested in like, okay, the counterfeiting part for like 2 episodes, you know?
It's
like
the hook. It's not the whole thing.
Yeah, that's how they grab you in. It's like, oh shit, like this is gonna be something really cool.
You remember the reactions. I mean, I couldn't even wait, y'all. Like, I started watching this in the East Coast before he even woke up because I was so excited. And I couldn't even like wait. But by the time we got to the 2nd episode, which we watched together, we were so high on the show.
Yeah.
And yeah, they sold it to us. The counterfeiting stuff is excellent. Like, I would still recommend that people watch the show just because of how well made it is. But my God, it falls. Like, it takes a steep nosedive.
Yeah.
So
don't keep your expectations too high.
Another show that was pretty disappointing. Night Manager.
Night Manager.
Yeah, let me just set this up. It's a remake of a 2016 BBC miniseries, which was incredible, starring Tom Hiddleston, Hugh Laurie, Elizabeth Debicki, Olivia Colman, Tom Hollander, the guy that was in White Lotus season 2 recently. Incredible cast. I watched this when it came out and loved it. It's a revenge drama, and it's about this army vet turned night hotel manager. And he kind of serves as like the lead concierge in a really nice 5-star luxury hotel that hosts a lot of powerful people. And he is witness to a very tragic incident involving someone that he loves in one of the hotels that he works in. And 2 years after the incident, when he's working at another hotel, he meets the guy who was responsible for the killing of the person that he loved. And it takes off. He sets off on a mission to infiltrate that guy's business and out him in some way working with intelligence. Tom Hiddleston played the night manager. Hugh Laurie played the villain. Elizabeth Debicki played this femme fatale character. And Olivia Colman played an MI7 agent. All the cast members are great, I would say, in the Hindi remake. Obviously, Roy Kapoor, Sean, his character's name, plays the night manager. What's his name? Shailendra Rumta.
Yeah.
Shelly, who's the industrialist, arms dealer posing as an industrialist, businessman, is the villain, and Shobita Dulipala plays the character Elizabeth Debicki plays. And like, amazing. I think the name of the Olivia Colman's character, forget her name. She's an incredible Bengali actress who's done a lot of character work. Lipika plays this agent named Lipika. having watched the original, I was obviously comparing it to the original, which I don't think you should do if you're going into it.
It's different, right? It's a little bit different.
It's a little different. The motivations are a little different.
Because we watched the first episode. We watched the first episode of the Hindi remake, and then we went back and you were showing me parts of the first episode of the original. And there were some key differences.
The way that it's paced, some of the characters are different. But it is still
at the core,
the same.
At the core, it is the same.
And okay. Only 4 episodes are out. They're gonna do a second part with the back end of the show,
like June 4th or something like that.
And to be honest, I don't even want to talk about. I don't have anything else to say about the show. I just think so far, build some anticipation. The performances are great. I don't have anything else to say because my biggest complaint is that, like, why would you do that?
Yeah, I think it's like a new trend that people are starting with these streaming services. Are like, oh, okay, we have to hook audiences in, so we're gonna release half the series first, and then hook them in, and if people are gonna.
They're trying to do that. Like Stranger Things did that. You just did that,
and it's.
But it's like they're not releasing them like 5 months later. They're doing them like pretty quickly, like with quick turnaround. And also, like with a show like Night Manager, where it's like not seasons, it's a mini series, it's self-contained.
Yeah,
you want to release the whole thing, dude. Like,
yeah,
it just like wasn't good enough, and also the cliffhanger wasn't good enough.
Exactly, where it's like
you want to write for if you know you're gonna build a break in.
Yeah.
You got to write for it.
Yeah, because you need to hook the audiences back in. And we watched the first 4 episodes and I was like, okay, I would be content with not finishing this show, you know? And I think...
I'm not intrigued enough. They weren't building enough intrigue. And they did give us a sneak peek of what's to come in the back end in a montage.
Yeah, and that looks insane. It looks like a completely different show.
Looks bad.
It looks like a completely different show.
Do you have anything... I mean, like, sick performances so far, so mid. It was good.
Yeah, it was. A lot of it seemed like forced, like when they were at the fish market and he was supposed to gather intel and convey it to.
Yeah, he was supposed to like kind of meet his handler who works for Raw because he was being followed. So
build trust with Shelly while still maintaining his rapport with
his handler. And Raw. And being in good standing with them. But it just was like so heavy. Like, this is my thing with Indian shows in general, with like spy anything. We were talking about this, right? Where it's like, isn't that hard to do? Both of us had the same thought. Where we're like watching a fight sequence and going like, man, like people exist in the world where the sequences are choreographing better sequences. But Bollywood can call up somebody and be like, hey, help us like figure this part out. Like when they go to that fish market, the guy that is like spying on him to make sure that he doesn't meet with anyone is like recording him, right? And he's following him. And it's clear as day that this other Raw handler is standing right there. And the guy's like, yeah, he's
clean.
He's clean.
Nothing.
And it was like, I guess he's clean, but it's like...
build up the suspense, you know? Like build up the scene to actually make us feel... for the character.
Feel that they're in danger. I never once felt that Aditya was actually
in danger. Like, and that's what like is the most annoying part. Like Anu Kapoor does a great job playing his character, but I feel like we need more to understand
he's the best
gravity of who his character is and how powerful, you know, he can be. And so
he was the best part of the show easily.
Yeah,
by far. Okay, and then we'll do a recap of Night Manager fully. Maybe, maybe not dedicate a whole episode.
Yeah,
to it.
we'll do we'll
see. We will watch it, so our informed opinions will reach you somehow.
But now let's transition away from TV shows, and so let's have a blast from the past.
Wait, let's set it up. We love watching movies together, right? And it was so easy on this trip to have or it was so difficult to like watch movies together because we were constantly with other people. But he came back to DC with me and has been here this whole week. So we've just been like watching a ton of stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So the first one that we watched is Rab Ne Bana Di Jodi. It is a Shah Rukh Khan and Anushka Sharma debut. It was Aditya Chopra's comeback film from not directing films in a very long time. I had seen this as a kid when it came out, I think in like 2011. So I hadn't seen it in a very long time. And my initial impressions were, it's a fun movie. You know, you go in.
What did you say?
I said, I said the first half is good, but the second half takes off.
No, you said it's one of the few movies where the second half is better than the first half.
And honestly, that's nostalgia, coming in because
Yeah.
having seen the movie as a kid and you
Yeah.
associate it with like good memories, and I thought the film held together.
Well, this happened with Mangata when I showed you Mangata, and I had memories of it as when I watched it as a child, and it's like good, but it's like definitely not good. Like I sold it, so I understand. Yeah.
The songs, okay, like the songs are amazing. Okay, there's this one song that came in the middle.
Phir milenge chalte chalte. That's
Yeah.
the name of the song.
Yeah, that's the name of the song. That caught our attention. That was definitely the highlight.
I lost it, and he didn't even know. He didn't even remember that the song was there.
This song was live.
So both of us were losing it together because it's Shah Rukh dancing with every one of his romantic partners on film from the last 15 years up until that point.
Yeah.
It opens with a dance sequence with Kajol, then Bipasha Basu, then Preeti Zinta, then
Lara Datta.
Lara Datta, Preeti Zinta,
Rani Mukherjee.
Rani Mukherjee.
Yeah.
Oh my God. And then we didn't know, right? At the time, we were just like, oh, who's going to be next? Who's going to be next? I thought it was just going to be Kajol. And I saw Bipasha and I was like, oh, fuck, there's going to be more people. And then it never stopped. And that song has been on our mind for the last week. We've been playing that
nonstop. We're going to learn it and perform it at some point.
Yeah. We'll do a Yappy on live show. And you'll see us do Phir milenge chalte chalte.
And so the songs, that was what the good part was. The
songs are so good to the point where like I recognize every song. I'd grown up listening to these songs. Yeah. Just didn't know they were from this movie.
Yeah. And that's that same kind of recognition that I had, and oftentimes where I can misplace judgments on what I actually think about the film because my recognition of the songs are so strong, right? And they hold so much power.
These songs, just go listen to the Rub Name.
The entire soundtrack is just bangers.
Like bangers. Amazing music, y'all. Like Hole Hole, I didn't know was from this. What is the other song from it?
Oh
my, right. Incredible film.
Yeah. Incredible song.
Oh, incredible
song. The movie, okay, the first half is fine.
Yeah, what is our central complaint with the movie?
Okay, so just a precursor. If you haven't seen the movie, it's basically about Shah Rukh Khan. He plays a double role, essentially. He plays Surinder Saini from Punjab Power. Very like
company, not political party.
Yeah, company.
He's a very power.
He's a very
electricity company.
Yeah. He's very goody two shoes, like as goody two shoes as it gets. Very, shy, lovable. One of those cutesy guys that are, it's to himself, and you haven't seen
a bit of a nerd, like your usual,
like.
He looks kind of like stupid, but he's gonna have like a transformation that's gonna go crazy.
Yeah, and so basically, he somehow ends up getting married to Anushka Sharma, and she's unhappy with it because it was a, kind of almost a forceful marriage in a way where it was just unfortunate circumstances where her dad was passing away, and all of that, and so, but then to make up for it, because she basically tells him that, she's already loved someone before and she can't love him anymore.
She'll never love again.
Yeah, because she'll never love him again. Like completely never.
Oh, shit.
And so he's like, well, fuck, she's never going to fall.
He's like, what do I do? I have to literally become someone else.
And that's exactly what he does with his friend, Bobby Khosla.
Whose shout out is in Made in Heaven, which we're watching right now. Bobby Khosla, dude. Vinay Pathak. Yeah, he's everywhere. Character actor.
Phenomenal.
A hairdresser who gives him a makeover.
Yeah, he changes up
his style.
His entire style, turns him into Raj, who's kind of this like uber masculine.
I don't know about that one. Uber masculine. He's kind of a little weirdo, dude.
He's a creep. He's
like a very like loquacious like little dude. He just like won't shut the fuck up. Like and flamboyant, just wearing all kinds of crap. But is very confident.
Yeah.
And it plays to this classic Bollywood trope of annoying, overconfident dude eventually tires the woman out and
she's like, fine.
She's like, fine. Okay. I do love you, in fact.
If you really say so.
The funniest thing, y'all, is so just TLDR, right? Suri, nerd, Raj, flamboyant, cool guy, played by Shah Rukh Khan. Only difference is in what they're wearing, and there's a mustache that Suri wears that he shaves off. And slick back hair, I guess.
Yeah.
That's it. She doesn't recognize him
At all.
at all. They like are dancing together. The whole point is like she wants to join a dance competition.
Yeah.
That's all she gets to do now. And that's how he woos her. He goes and joins this same dance class, and they're partners by the will of God, Rabne, Jodi.
Exactly.
And Rab being God.
And she
so
ends up like,
falling for him.
Yeah.
Our biggest complaint is we just didn't like know.
The second half is just so confusing because you don't understand. Wait, first of all, it's hard to tell how Surinder is feeling because you can't. It's hard to tell whether he's happy that she actually can love again or sad because she's not in love with the real him.
Even though he is playing the other guy that she's in love with, like not just like CGI. Like it's like not like double role.
Yeah, exactly.
He literally takes his makeup off in the movie and shit. Like same dude.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like Raj. They're both the same, and so he gets really sad because she does like tell him that she loves him, loves Raj, and Suri coming back home as Suri is like, yo, damn, she doesn't know that I'm a different guy. She just fell in love with another dude. Like,
well, it's also unclear whether she was actually in love because she never says she was in love with him.
No, she doesn't say it, but she starts seeing him everywhere.
Yeah, she starts seeing the way that he asked her out everywhere. She's constantly thinking.
Yeah, like the imagery starts appearing magically.
And so she has this conversation with Raj, and she's like, "Oh, like how do you know like love so easily?" He's
so
like,
confused.
"Oh, I see Rub in you. I see God in you, and that's how I know." Okay, and then there's a cutscene.
How do you love me? She asks like, "How do you love me?" It's painful. It's like,
and then
that isn't even pain. Yeah, it's like pain. What pain? You love somebody because you see God in them. They love somebody else because they see God in them.
I was like, what? And then they cut to a scene of of Anushka, just like with the background song playing of Tujhe Mera, and then like Surinder's like face like comes out of nowhere, and so now all of a sudden she starts seeing God in Surinder, right? And it's where did that come from all of a sudden? Okay, maybe like he like took care of her and like housed her when like he really like
and it's like really like it like put this shit in the last 10 minutes. Like the full chase. So she basically goes to Raj saying like let's run away, and Raj again, y'all. Let's just to emphasize, Raj is Suri. So when Raj is saying shit, it's really Suri saying it. So Raj actually at one point says like let's run away, but then the next scene as Suri he's all sad.
Yeah.
So why the fuck would you suggest it? Why won't you just sabotage the whole thing?
He's ready to give up his entire life as Surinder and like
but then that's also not clear. Is he? Oh no, that is clear.
Yeah, he's gonna give up his entire life. His anthem is Raj. He's gonna force it forever.
This guy didn't exist like 2 weeks ago.
Right. He's gonna give up the real him for this fake personality for the love of his life. When it's like, what the fuck is going on? Okay,
I was very confused, y'all.
I was equally as confused because I thought I understood this movie. Okay, like I thought this was some great film that I was showing to him, and we were both gonna rejoice on and be like,
yeah. I guess they do bring it home in some like convoluted way. Again, Deus Ex Machina, because she suddenly starts seeing God in him in Suri when they're going to the Golden Temple together in Amritsar, and suddenly she has a change of heart. She tells Raj right before their big dance number in the end that she doesn't want to run away with him. Raj is Suri, as you might have caught on at this point, doesn't come to the dance dressed as Raj. He comes as Suri, and she's like, oh my God, you're the same guy this whole time. And that's when I was like, oh, I want them to have that conversation after, because she's been lied to, y'all. Basically, that's the whole thing, right? He's been lying to her this entire time. I was like, this is going to make or break the whole thing. And it kind of broke it for me, because the conversation goes something like this. Some Jupe? Everything was fine. He's like, Yeah, but I did it all for love.
Yeah.
And she's like,
No,
when they fall in love again, and then that's the movie.
Yeah, and it's like, wow.
If I got lied to and gaslit like that,
Yeah,
I would
like,
fucking kill him, or give a police complaint and fucking sue this.
Yeah, or like make it like that would have been a good climax essentially, right? Where she finds out, and then the rest of the movie is him trying to figure out how he can like make it up to her.
Exactly.
You know, and that would have been like a great way to wrap it up with the happy ending where he has to work for it, not where it's like he can just get away with everything that he did, and she'll be completely.
But then there was only 10 minutes left, and the audience was probably like, "Fuck."
Yeah, it's already 2 hours, 45 minutes.
I need to go home. So this is the
so
ending.
does the audience.
This is the fucking ending. So that was the movie of the week that we did.
The
Up
Hindi
next,
movie of the week.
Yeah. Up next, what we have coming up for our listeners with the next few episodes, Romantics is out. The big Netflix Indian matchmaking creators new project about the history of Yash Raj films and Bollywood romances from the 70s onward, and how they dominated for nearly 50 years. And continue to dominate. And we've talked about how important this show is to all of us because of how many people they've gotten on record to speak.
Yeah, it was like 35, 40 different celebrities that
and
are
like A-list, zero B-list. Everyone's like,
these people are like creme de la creme.
Yeah, and most important people in this industry. The reason why we're doing this podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
So that we both of us have started watching. We'll probably do an episode on that next week. Other things to look forward to. I know we've been touting the Bollywood vibes thing for a long time, only because we've also been watching Moving In with Malaika, which also we said we're going to do an episode on. And we're almost done with watching that. And it's been really rough, y'all. It was like, it's sucking the life out of us. Every time we watch it, we're like, whoa, like we really need to
watch something else.
Like shower and cleanse from this garbage.
Yeah, it's hot trash.
So sneak peek of what our opinion on the show will be. But we want to put those two in conversation and have our conversation amongst ourselves. About
why we think, it is what it is.
And why there's like, or maybe interrogate and ask through conversation, like, what is the difference between a show that is based in the same universe, who is also friends with the same people that this other really successful show, and the friends in that universe are friends with? Like, why such stark differences in quality amongst these new wave reality TV series? And then the last one, what are the movies that are coming out in March?
So we already talked about Tu Jhuti Main Makar, what we're really excited
March 8th.
about. And there is a new Salman Khan film that is coming out. Kisi Ki Bhai,
Kisi Ki Jaan.
Kisi Ki Jaan. Looks completely.
What does that mean?
It's like
you're
somebody's brother,
you're also somebody's lover.
And it's like, bruh, it's
no. I think it'll be good for you.
Yeah, to see another trash Salman Khan film.
No, I feel like that's your identity.
Alter ego.
Raj. Oh God, never. If you're ever acting like Raj, I'll tell you. Will you tell me?
No, for sure. For sure.
What
We can't be out in public like that, because what
was acceptable in 2008 is shocking to me.
What they got away with,
Jesus
in that movie, is insane.
Yeah. Anyway, those are the two movies that are coming out. Just a quick note on Shehzada and Selfie. I mentioned them. They came out in February, crumbling at the box office.
Bombing.
Shehzada
is, I think, actually people are saying it's a terrible film. Like I mentioned,
that aside, Kartik Aaryan Bhool Bhulaiya 2 wasn't fucking like Moonlight. It was a fucking piece of shit.
Yeah,
but it made a lot of money.
Well.
Shehzada remake is not doing well, and Selfie, which came out on February 24th, so 2 days ago, also bombing. Akshay Kumar is ass, as we have already argued on this podcast. So hopefully these two new releases revive the box office. Somehow Pathaan is still succeeding, probably because these other two movies are shitty.
Yeah.
And so those are the things to look forward to on our next few episodes. Thanks for tuning in. Also, we didn't even call attention to the fact that where are we? We're in the same I Can Touch You.
Yeah, exactly. This is truly
Sneak
once in
peek.
a lifetime
Apartment, DC apartment. Probably the only time it'll be featured in this podcast.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm flying to India tomorrow. You're flying back to San Jose. And so the next time we'll meet, we'll be in different continents. But till then, signing off.
Over and out. Thanks again for tuning in. Much love, y'all.
Bye bye.
Peace.